Alright, so, basically this is another top 10 list, and this top 10 list, I'm actually going to be doing, basically two different ones, and they're all about top 10 lists of characters I want to see for Injustice Gods Among Us 2. And for part 1, obviously I'm a villains guy, so the villains are going first. Now, always with my top 10 list, if you see something on here that should have been higher or lower or not at all, that's totally fine. That is your opinion. This is just my personal opinion, and if you have a different opinion, that's totally fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and this is in no way saying, hey, this is what it should be, this is how it's going to be. No, I'm not saying that at all. These are just a list of characters I would like to see I would love to see from least to greatest. Well, if they're in a top 10 out of like 10,000 characters in the DC universe. So yeah, these guys are characters I really want to see, and I always want to see what you guys have for characters you want to see in the list. So as always with these top 10 lists, let's get started with our first half. Number 10. King Shark. Now, King Shark's a very interesting pick because his popularity is only relatively new thanks to Secret Six and to an extension Suicide Squad. Thank you, Gail Simone, for making this lesser-known Superboy character villain a beloved character. Hell, when he shows up, you could have him like shoot out of the water, just jump down and be like, "I'm a shark." Yeah, that would be his catchphrase the whole time. Like some of his, obviously, King Shark would be a brawler type character, judging by his size. He could grab somebody by the face, slam him into the ground, or grab somebody, take a bite out of them, and go, "Yeah," spit it out, and just throw him. You could also have King Shark use his tail as a weapon. Obviously, this is a very big character. He would be like a brawler type character, kind of like with Grundy, kind of slow. But I would imagine just very devastating hits with King Shark. Again, not a character you would think to have on this list, but I think King Shark would be a very interesting character to have in the roster. So anyway, that's my number 10. Moving on to number 9. Number 9. Livewire. Now, Livewire is obviously a popular Superman villain character, and she's one of my favorite Superman villains as well. With Livewire, this character, you can obviously do a lot of electrical base attacks with her, and I would imagine she could be a long-range type character. Obviously, with the electric blasts, you get up close to somebody, you can just grab them. Livewire can grab them, put her hand on their chest, and just start shocking the shit out of them. You could also have her teleport move be she can just be an electric current, get behind, zoop, go underground, zip, pop up behind them, and then zap them again. There are just so many different arrays of attacks you could use with Livewire, but again, I would imagine that she would be more of a long-range type character. Like, this is a distance character you would use. She would be good up close, but, she would take a lot of damage up close if she was left a little too up close. Like, this is a character you want to keep a range at with Livewire. But yeah, with Livewire, there's just so many attacks. So you just throw in a ball of electricity in the air, the ball just turns into a lightning bolt, and it just starts shocking your opponent. You could have just summon a thing of lightning come down. Just so many different ways you can use Livewire. And again, I think it would be really cool if Injustice got the original voice actress back to voice Livewire. I'm trying to remember her name. God damn it, it's from the original Superman animated show. I'm trying to remember her name. God damn, what was her... It's killing me now because it's at the tip of my tongue. God damn, I know, I'm sorry guys, it's killing me now. It's killing me. Damn it, I cannot for the life of me remember. But anyway, someone below can tell me in the comments below. But anyway, yeah, I think she would be a very fun character to use, and just have all these mocking quotes, like she would say, "Oh, you're in for a shock," and just pause and go, "Did I really just say that?" So anyway, Livewire. Number 8. Another Superman character, well, Superman villain, I should say, Parasite. Now, Parasite is again, he would be I would imagine he's a very big character, and just a lot of devastating blows. But also another thing you could do with Parasite is actually like you could have him grab somebody and just steal your opponent's health and add on to your own that you lost. And then you could even, like, as an extra, maybe you could use like an attack from one of the other opponent's guest lists, because that was the thing with Parasite. He would just absorb people's energy, but I think it would be really cool, like, you could just use one of their attacks. Kind of like, I think Parasite, the best way to make him is kind of like Charade in Soul Calibur 2. If you remember that one, he just used everybody else's abilities. So maybe you could do that, like, he would have his own moveset, but, like, after you absorb someone's health, you could actually use one of their attacks instead. And then you can, you know, it wouldn't be like, oh, you can use this moveset, this moveset. You can just use it once, then you gotta absorb somebody's health again. That's what I'm thinking. Now, the big question is, what kind of Parasite would it be? Because obviously, Parasite's gone through a lot of mutations. I would have to say Parasite I would pick is this one right here, the image shown here, the big purple suit. But you could go maybe All-Star Superman with the big hulking monster. You could do that too. And but would you make him smart or dumb? Because obviously, poor Rudy Jones, Parasite, is just gone through so much shit. So would you make him like a mindless monster? I'll leave that up to you guys if for that one. So yeah, Parasite. Also, another thing I want to bring up that I should have brought up in the beginning of this video: there are no Batman villains in here because Ed Boon and everyone at NetherRealm said when they're doing Injustice 2, they said no more Batman characters. They didn't want to use Batman heroes or villains because they obviously have enough. So I think that's a cool idea. There would have been a few more other Batman characters that, like, Jason Todd and Killer Croc I would have used, but I think it's a smart move. But anyway, yeah, so I should have mentioned it earlier, and I'm sorry, but yeah, there are no Batman villains on this list. But having said that, let's move on to number 7. Number 7. Black Hand. Now, Black Hand is, of course, a Green Lantern villain. We only had Sinestro, more or less, but I think it would be cool to have Black Hand and just have him as the Black Lantern. You could just have him float out of a construct coffin, and he's just holding a skull petting, and he's like, "No one escapes death." And you could have him. Obviously, the thing with you have to really range how he uses that Black Lantern ring. Like, maybe you could have him create a coffin around somebody and just create spikes inside of it, or create like this giant construct skull and slam it, or even summon summon the dead, like they just rise out and grab somebody and start dragging them. Kind of make it like the best way I think you can make Black Hand in the Injustice games is kind of like use the movesets from Quan Chi. Why did I say Shang-Shang? You could use Shang Tsung, but I think the better one, like the best way you could make him is like a DC version of Quan Chi, where he can just summon the dead or make some kind of construct monster to attack you. All that kind of cool stuff. And even use, what's it called? The Nega Rod, I think it's called. You just pull it out, zap somebody, put it back in his belt. Something like that, I think it would be really cool. Black Hand, I think, would be a very devastating kind of character. Again, very ranged, though. I think that would be the other thing, is that he would be a ranged character. But I think he would also be a very durable one, because he's fucking dead. So anyway, Black Hand. Number 6. Eobard Thawne, a.k.a. the Reverse Flash. Now, Eobard Thawne, the difficult thing is with Reverse Flash is not make him like a copy of the Flash. Now, I think they can get around this because obviously they had Sinestro in there, and a lot of people were worried, well, is he just going to be a copy of Green Lantern? And the same thing when they had Zod in there, is like, is he going to be a copy of Superman? Luckily, those characters had their own movesets, and I think you can do the same thing with Eobard Thawne. And also, he would also be a very fast character, like, of course, the Flash. So what you could do with what could you do with Reverse Flash? What kind of moves could you do with Reverse Flash? Maybe give him like the little death stick that Ethan Van Sciver and Jeff Johns. Well, Ethan Van Sciver came up with it for the cover of that issue he showed up in, and Jeff Johns was like, "Okay, I'll run with it," pun intended. So yeah, give him a little death stick as a weapon and just start as he as he's like running by people, just smacks them with it. You could have him create, like, one of his teleport moves would be like he can run so fast he creates an afterimage, and when your opponent attacks the afterimage, Eobard just comes up behind you and just gets you right in the back. something like a very devastating and brutal moves at a very fast pace. You could have him create like a cyclone and just start hitting the guy over and over again. It's like a finisher move, and then just eventually like he grabs the guy in midair and just jumps high, grabs him in the air, pulls him down, and then just snaps his neck, throws him on the ground, and just laughs. That would be his finisher move right there. Among other things with Thawne, what else could you do with Thawne? I think these are very quick and brutal attacks with Eobard Thawne. And again, with his popularity from the Flash TV show, I think there would be a possible chance that Eobard would be in this game. Not as an alternate costume, but as his own character. Another thing I would love to see if Eobard was in this game, I think it would be just great, like what they did with Stephen Amell in Injustice 1, where they had Stephen Amell show up as like the voice of the Arrow skin. I think that would be cool. It's like they had Tom Cavanagh. I cannot pronounce his last name for the life of me. But yeah, the actor who played Eobard in the Flash TV show, like he reprises his role for the Reverse Flash alternate costume. He plays the Flash TV show Reverse Flash costume skin. He does the voice of it. I think that would be just an awesome little treat for everybody. And same thing if they got Grant Gustin to reprise his, to be the Flash skin in the next game. I think that would be awesome. But anyway, so that's pretty much part 1. Once again, if you saw a character on here if you didn't see a character that you wanted on here, or you think a character should have been higher and lower, that's totally fine. No ill will against you. This is just my personal list, and I'm always excited to see what you guys come up with for these lists. So, what villains do you want to see in Injustice Gods Among Us 2? Really excited to see what you guys come up with, and stay tuned for the top 5.